And people talked then, in 1990, of a new world order. And the question for us is how we meet and master all these challenges to ensure that Britain enhances its competitiveness in the process and realizes what I believe is our destiny of success in this new world order. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
And people better understand that they mean exactly what they're saying. It's a new world order they're trying to create, and they're trying to do so not only without approval or consent of the government in this country, but despite the popular will. This is a straightforward assault by the elitists in this country.
There is a global meltdown coming. It is a global depression, and one world currency and one world financial system is the end game. China said last week they want one global currency. France said yesterday or the day before that they want one world order, a new world order, at the end of this event.
Gordon Brown will today call on fellow world leaders to seize the opportunity created by the worldwide economic crisis to create a truly global society. The Prime Minister will use a high-profile speech in the City of London to say that Britain, the US and Europe should join together to create a new, stronger and more just world order.
This engineered collapse is there as a massive problem for which you offer the solution, and the solutions are the infrastructure we've been predicting all this time, including the World Central Bank.
The goal of this manipulation, and has been for a very long time, is to get the world population to see as a good idea, or the only option in given circumstances that are manipulated into place, the creation of a one-world government, a world central bank which would administer all financial transactions on the planet, a world currency, and a microchipped population linked to a global computer.
The wealthy elite who have the money and the power know that if they can create a one world global social system, that they can control the central authority. In other words, world control, world domination, one of the oldest desires in the history of the world.
There's a very, very clear-cut and easily identifiable system in place that puts all of these elements, from media control to government control to energy control, together into one apparatus working together effectively towards its final goal, which is, global control.
Because of the compartmentalized pyramids that they've constructed within all these institutions of government and finance and corporations, the vast majority of people who are daily making contributions to push the world in this towards this Orwellian global state have no idea that they're doing that, because they don't know how their contributions fit in with everyone else's. Only the few at the top do.
Most people don't have a clue that unelected private bankers actually control the governments of the world.
There is this cozy little myth that is perpetuated between politicians and the media. The media report the world as if presidents and prime ministers are the final arbiters and decision makers in the world, which means that the people above the level of presidents and prime ministers that really make the decisions, they're never looked at or exposed by the mainstream media because they're not accepted to exist.
The central bankers of the world are working together to create a one-world government. The global police state is sinister as anything George Orwell ever wrote about. Where every person on the planet Earth will have an RFID chip implanted.
It is the first implantable microchip for humans that has multiple security, financial, and healthcare applications.
More than 100 law enforcement officials in Mexico are having microchips implanted in their arms. The chips allow a person to be scanned, sort of like a cereal box at the supermarket.
Just like the microchips implanted in the necks of dogs and cats, allowing lost pets to be identified, this glass capsule can do the same for humans.
Placing a tracking microchip under a service.
A chip in everybody would be the universal monetary system par excellence, because there'd be no escape from it, and you'd be totally under the control of those who issue the electronic impulses in that chip.
The problem throughout human society is that the good men and women do nothing. They don't want power. They don't don't want control. They want to lead a leisurely life. They want to spend time with their family. They want to lead simple lives. But we are forced throughout society, throughout history, and throughout human time to stand up against bullies. And many times we stand up before it's too late. And we reverse the course of tyranny. But more often than not, we don't stand up in time, and horrible things have to happen first, so decadent societies learn why liberty and freedom is so precious.
If you think you don't like the situation now, then think what you're going to face a little way down the road, and more than anything, think of what your children are going to have to face. Because you think that we live in a controlled society now, this is nothing compared with what they are going to have to live in. So in terms of parents who are listening to this information, I would say this. Go and look your children in the eyes and tell them that you can't be bothered, or you're too frightened to do anything about it. You're too frightened to get involved, in being another conduit for getting this information further and further expanded into the public mind. That you're too frightened to get together with others to stop cooperating with the system and to not be intimidated into coming into line, which is a bit like coming into line in a concentration camp and thinking it'll be okay as long as you stay in line and you do as you're told, you'll be fine. And then you realize at the end of it, well, actually, it ain't fine. And if you'd have all rebelled earlier, then you wouldn't be in the situation you're facing now. The point of mathematics alone ought to let us see where the real power is here. There are billions of people, 6 billion, nearly getting on for 7 billion on this planet, who are being manipulated. There are, in full knowledge of what they're doing, a relative handful of those who are doing the manipulating to the end that we're talking about.
The only way to stop that is for good men to stand up. Was Edmund Burke said, evil can only thrive when good men do nothing?
Yes.
Right? We got to do something. That's what it is, you know. Silence is golden, but when it comes to your freedom, it's yellow. You know, we have to stop being scared. We have to stand up and do what's necessary to take back, to stop these bankers, these elite, this government full of lies, congressmen full of liars, you know.
Option, placing a tracking microchip under a service member's skin. Former special operations officer.
And if you hear this shouting, it's a group of demonstrators that come. 9/11 was an inside job.
Są już miejsca, gdzie płaci się za pomocą podskórnego chipa. Rafał Niedzielski.
Zanim będziemy mogli płacić podskórnymi mikrochipami za zakupy spożywcze czy domowe rachunki za gaz, minie pewnie jeszcze parę lat, ale jest już jedno miejsce w Europie, gdzie ten system spisuje się całkiem nieźle. Wszczepiane pod skórę nadajniki radiowe w szklanej powłoce mają wielkość ziarnka ryżu, emitują 10-cyfrowy kod, który po zeskanowaniu dopasowywany jest do konkretnego konta bankowego. To na razie nowość, ale taki system ma być upowszechniony w ciągu najbliższych 10 lat. Rafał Niedzielski, Wiadomości.
Is into, by and large, the idea of a one world community, a new world order. You know, they see that as...
They see themselves as a government as opposed to a group of world leaders or people with influence.
The European leaders have been pressing for an overhaul of the whole international financial system, and they will continue to do so. They are calling for an organization of a global summit as soon as next month.
Chancellor Josie very much for the transatlantic economic integration plan.
And for that too, we need to develop a common market, common standards.
So this is indeed a very important agreement.
Within the next 4 years, we will see the emergence of a new international order.
The beginning of a new international order. New world order. Of a new world order.
A new world order. You're free, and freedom is beautiful. And, you know, it'll take time to restore chaos.
The forces shaping this world at this moment are so strong, and they all tend in one direction.
oppose the New World Order. We will expose the global crime syndicate. To David Rockefeller, to the Rothschild representatives here, to the Queen of the Netherlands, to all of you, we tell you, you are not our queen, you are not our king, you are not our God. We do not belong to you. We are not your slaves. We stand as free humans, have stood since the beginning of time against the strong men, against the thugs, against the bullies. We are here telling you we will resist the New World Order. We will defeat your world government.
And if you hear the shouting, it's a group of demonstrators who've come. 9/11 was an inside job.
Problemem najciekawszym, najpiękniejszym jest problem jeden, w jaki sposób człowiek może obudzić w drugim człowieku poczucie jego wolności. Tymczasem najgłębszym problemem wychowawczym nie jest to, w jaki sposób panować nad człowiekiem, ale w jaki sposób obudzić w nim człowieczeństwo. A człowieczeństwem tym jest wolność.